been a lot of plasters put over some areas, and doing this redeemed course showed me that Jesus just took those plasters right off, like.
I didn't have the greatest childhood. I didn't really have friends, and I was bullied a lot. And then when I was 5, I discovered this thing called imagination.
Being known by people is something that I tend to struggle with, and I find it easier just to go along life being by myself.
Growing up in a Christian home, I had all the head knowledge. Sex was just not spoken about, and that's where ignorance came in, and that's where promiscuity came in, and that's how I got pregnant at 18.
In identity, definitely. With my birthmark, it's nothing you can really hide. Getting sick, really sick, that's also a side effect of the birthmark. I had 2 options, either run away from God or go to God.
It's easy not to be vulnerable, and I realized through this series that we all have needs. Our body has needs, our spirit has needs, and our soul has needs too. The need of intimacy, to be known in community, known by our spouse, known by friends, is something that we actually need. It's almost a basic need for our soul. And that's something I realized I haven't always been very good at.
It also breaks a lot of the boxes that we think sex is about.
So this was like snipering those areas of sexual addiction and worth, and where is your intimacy with God really?
What is it that I'm really desiring? What is the need that I have that I'm not fulfilling? And the soul needs that you have is intimacy, connection, and comfort. And if you don't meet those needs in a healthy way, you're going to grab at the proverbial chips. In the long run, the fantasizing and the imaginary worlds became an idol.
It's just realizing what covenant actually implies, what that means practically for all areas of my life. He's as close as a husband is on earth, and it's the invitation for that type of relationship with him, where he meets every single need in your life.
Growing up in the church, I've heard the word covenant, but I've never really understood it for myself. Spending time with God more, I really get to know God is love more and more, and through that I am loved.
Complete purity, I'm still on that road, but I know that God's given me all of the tools to actually achieve that, and just to be restored to my original form in all aspects of my life.
As the course went on, we realized like this isn't even about sex or not having sex. It's actually just all based on who we are in Jesus. What are you seeking and what are you hungry for? Are you allowing Jesus to fill that gap?
It was barely about sex. It's really about the identity and the truth that you believe of God, and the things that come forth from that, because you live out what you believe in your heart. God has actually told me in the past 2 weeks that I have a very, very warped perception of myself. Beforehand, you might be like, oh, I'm just an afterthought. He has to love me because I'm kind of part of the deal. I am an individual, and he cares about the needs, whether it's physical, spiritual, or soul.
Purity is not for saving ourselves for our husband. It's keeping ourselves pure for God.
For the first time in my life, I was actually able to talk about these dark things that hide in the back and try and keep you hostage, basically, while you're trying to be a Christian. And you know that you're clean, and you know that you're redeemed, you know that you're saved, but you just get sometimes like whacked by this thing.
God's strength is perfect in our weakness, and I think that is why I feel no shame.
I have experienced being known in a deeper way with certain relationships since Redeemed, and it's something that I think is going to grow even more, and I'm excited for deeper relationships with friendships or with friends in the future.